Hi and welcome back to my channel, Half of Heidi, or welcome in general if this is the first video of mine that you've ever seen. Yeah, I'm 2 weeks pre-op today, so yeah, I'm half excited and half in denial. Yeah, anyway. Being 2 weeks to go actually means that I'm halfway through the 4-week pre-op diet that I was prescribed due to my high starting weight. So I wanted to give some updates around how I'm going with my diet, which I guess leads me into how am I going from a weight perspective. And I do want to reiterate up front that I definitely didn't have... I don't want to say maybe it was expectations. I didn't set goals or anything like that around pre-op weight loss, with the exception of losing fat from around my liver, because of, obviously the increased complications and difficulty of the surgery with a larger liver size. So I'm actually, but having said that, I'm actually really happy with the weight loss that I have achieved so far. So let's talk about that. Okay, so my highest weight, sorry, and I've got my notes, so I'm looking down. My highest weight was 191.7 kilograms, which is 422.6 pounds. I'm 5'8", by the way. Last week I weighed in, so that was the 1 week into the diet, so that was 183.9 kilograms or 405.4 pounds, which was a loss of 7.8 kilograms or 17.2 pounds. This week I weighed in at 182.2 kilograms or 401.6 pounds, which was a loss this week of 1.7 kilograms or 3.7 pounds, bringing my total loss of the last 2 weeks to 9.4 kilograms or 20.9 pounds. It's really interesting, the difference between week 1 and week 2, like going from 7.8 kilograms lost to 1.7 kilograms lost. But I actually really expected that. Just my experience with these sort of very low calorie diets in the past, you do lose a substantial amount of weight in your first week, and then it sort of not dies off, because I'm still happy with 1.7 kilograms. It's just, yeah, your body, I guess, just gets used to having that sort of calorie intake. I don't know. I don't really understand it, but I expected it. It's funny, like seeing 9.5 kilograms written down, thinking, wow, that's practically 10. And then even like, for my non-metric friends, it's over 20 pounds now, so 20.9 pounds. So, yeah, I'm really happy with that. Can't necessarily say I can feel it. My husband did say that he thinks he might be able to see it. But, I don't know. At my size, I don't know if that's really that noticeable. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. So I want to give a bit of some thoughts that I've had during my pre-op diet, given that I am 2 weeks into it. One thing I definitely want to call out is what let's put it this way. I have never been diagnosed with lactose intolerance. I've never gone to the doctor and gone through tests. I don't even know what tests are available for that. But I could pretty clearly tell that when I consume dairy, and whether that's milk or ice cream or whatever, I will get diarrhea. That's my reality, and they're the only two things that I can link together in my diet. So the OptiFast shakes do contain lactose. So for the first week, I was really struggling because I was trying to have at least 2 shakes a day, and obviously sometimes 3. And yeah, it was just really, really not agreeing with me. It was very, very difficult. And my my husband basically described my trips to the bathroom as the eruption of Mount Vesuvius instead of Mount Vesuvius, but because, yeah, it was not fun. So I've reduced my shakes down to maybe like one a day. Sometimes I will have a second shake if I'm just really, really struggling that day, if I'm really hungry. But I'm trying not to, just because it's not pleasant. So I'm having a bar. I'm having like either a chocolate or a berry bar. And I'm also still having the fruit and veg salad and an egg deal. But yeah, that lactose intolerance component's not very fun. Because I've got 2 weeks to go, I did want to get some lactase from the chemist, drugstore, if you're not Australian, pharmacy, to see if that makes any difference. Yeah, in terms of how I go with the shakes. But otherwise, I do actually like the flavours of the shakes. I have got 4 different flavours, and I think in order of preference, I'd say strawberry is definitely my favourite, followed by banana, then chocolate, then coffee. The chocolate tastes a lot like drinking chocolate, like cocoa powder, so it's not as sweet as I think you initially expect it to be, especially in comparison to the strawberry. The strawberry is actually quite sweet. And the coffee, I don't really think it tastes that much like coffee. It's got an interesting, maybe like a burnt coffee sort of flavour to it. I actually add coffee, like instant coffee, to the coffee shake to make it taste a bit nicer, and also just for a bit of caffeine, because I'm thankfully allowed caffeine in my pre-op phase. But I definitely think there's some tips on making the shakes more enjoyable. Definitely having them with ice, or really icy cold water. I think even serving them in a nice glass. I don't have mine here. This is not the glass I normally serve it in, but this is an example, just a cute glass. But that's a little bit of black coffee, in case you're wondering what that is. Yeah, serving in a nice glass rather than in the shaker, it just makes it feel more special and not just I'm slamming down something that I've just mixed together. So yeah. So I really recommend that. I've seen some stuff and read some stuff now about popping it in the freezer and eating it with a spoon. I've seen some stuff about, blending it with ice so it goes a bit like a slushy. You can add like vanilla or coconut essence and things like that. I think jelly crystals, diet jelly crystals, are also another thing that you can add. Yeah, there's a list actually in a book that I've bought, so I'll show you the book, and then if you want to follow that up, you can. Okay, so what else have I got to talk about? Other thoughts on the pre-op diet. I think the main thing that I feel is I really miss red meat, and I miss it in the form of burgers and, I've mentioned it 100 times now, spaghetti bolognese and things like that. So minced meat in a way. And I miss chicken. I actually swapped out my egg for some chicken in a salad yesterday. And that was really nice to have a flavour change, because I'm really, really sick of the same flavour over and over again. Yeah, I don't know. The diet's not that exciting, so it's not like you can really get excited by that. Yeah. Anyway, 2 weeks to go in the diet, and considering I'm 2 weeks in and still haven't cheated or given into temptation and eaten something I shouldn't, then I'm pretty happy with that. I just don't know if I'm going to last another 2 weeks, especially considering the 4th week will be the lead up to the lady time of the month. And I don't know what I'm going to be craving that week, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so what did I do this last week? Well, I paid my surgeon, so that was $6,900 paid, which was a really nice feeling. It felt then like, yep, I've locked it in, Eddie. Yeah, that was cool. I also bought some unflavoured protein powder to add to drinks and whatnot post-op. This packet has, I think it was 33 serves. It's a kilogram of whey protein isolate. Brand is Boomers. Really looking forward to trying that out. So it's also supposedly lower in lactose than some other protein powders. So I'm interested to try that. I was actually wanting to add it to like soups, like veggie soups and things like that. But I've noticed on the back that it does specifically call out adding it to cold beverages and cold food. So I'm guessing that means it coagulates or goes lumpy or something in hot things. So I'm just going to have to be really careful about that. What else? Oh, so I wanted to talk about this book. So this is the complete guide to nutrition for weight loss surgery. Sorry, I should hold it up a bit better. Yeah, I'm really excited about this book. I should say by Sally Johnston. Sorry. It's basically the Bible for people who are having weight loss surgery or bariatric surgery. And it talks about your pre-op phase, your recovery phases, and then maintenance. So Sally Johnston is a dietitian and nutritionist, and she has a lot of experience with bariatric patients in terms of their dietary requirements pre-op and post-op. And what's really cool about it is not only is it all of the information you need in one place, but it's also got like over 100 recipes or something like that. And it's recipes for each of the different phases. And some of them you can tweak a bit, so you can have in, you can have it in a different phase than it's in the book, if that makes sense. And she's actually got heaps of tips and tricks, and it's an excellent book. And I can see why so many people in the weight loss community, especially in Australia, I guess, because it is an Australian dietitian, but I can see why so many people get this. I'm not affiliated, by the way. It's available by like this one, so hard copy. I paid $45 for mine, which is the recommended retail price. There are some places that you can get it a little bit cheaper and whatnot, but I got it at the same place I bought my protein, just so I didn't have to pay shipping twice. You can also buy a ebook version or a Kindle version or whatever you want to call it, an electronic version, for those more tech savvy people who are like that. I like a book. I like a book that I can turn the pages and, I don't know, maybe I will catch up to the rest of the world and enjoy my ebooks, but not yet. Anyway, so I'm actually going to try one of the recipes out of that. Today I'm going to do the ratatouille. It just sounds really, really nice, and a different, hopefully, flavour than I've been experiencing over the last couple of weeks. There's only so many salads with balsamic vinegar you can have before it's just not exciting anymore. Anyway, so yeah, excited about that. What else have I done this week? Oh, I made a veggie broth from scratch. So it had a shit ton of vegetables in it, like 6 onions and heaps of carrots and celery. What else did I put in it? It also called for turnip and green capsicum. Actually, when I said a shit ton, I think I meant quantity as opposed to the number of different types. Also garlic and cloves, peppercorns, a bay leaf. I can't remember what else, but it was a huge pot of vegetables. And I must say the end result was really bland and just tasted like the water left over after you've boiled some carrots on the stove. It was really boring. And maybe that's what it's supposed to taste like, and I just have ridiculous expectations for a vegetable broth, but I thought it would taste a little bit more interesting. Anyway, in the end, I actually added chicken stock cubes, I added more pepper, I added salt, I added all sorts of stuff to try to make it tasty, and I just was like, I don't get it. I don't understand why this is not... Am I just that used to store purchased stock and how much salt it has in it or something? I don't know. But it wasn't even like I could taste like a whole bunch of really delicious vegetables. It just, like I said, it just really tasted like this carrot water. Anyway, I have apportioned it into little baggies and I've put them in the freezer. The good thing is that book has a lot of recipes that call for veggie stock, so I can at least use it as veggie stock base and not worry about it as a standalone broth to eat, because I don't think I would ever want to just sit down and eat it. You never know. Anyway, I am going to try and make a chicken broth using a whole chicken. And when I say I mean my husband mainly is going to be doing it, because I just hate the thought of cooking with the meat. So, yeah, my lovely husband Matt is going to help me with that one. I think that was all I had for this week. Oh no, I had a non-scale victory. Can't believe I forgot that one. So I've mentioned it a couple of times now about standing up for long periods and how that hurts my back and that kind of stuff. Well, I have finally, I guess because I've lost 9.5 kilograms or 20.9 pounds, lost enough weight that I can stand up long enough that I showered all by my little self and didn't need any help from my husband. So yes, that's my non-scale victory, or NSV. I'm very happy about that. Admittedly, I didn't wash my hair, so I wasn't standing up for as long as I could be, I suppose is what I'm saying. So yeah, next shower I will try to wash my hair and see if I stand up or if I need to sit down, because I still have the stool in my shower. But yeah, I showered alone, and if I have to sit down to wash my hair, I don't care. I was still alone in the shower. Not that I mind my husband being there, but I'm pretty sure everybody appreciates their privacy when they're in the shower. For some people, it is literally the only alone time that they get. So yeah, it was really nice. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now. Yeah, like I said, 2 weeks to go. I think I'm in denial more than excited at this point. Yeah, it's really crazy. As always, if you would like to reach out and have a chat or ask me any questions, please do so. I hope you're having a fantastic week, and I'll catch you soon. Okay, bye.